Well, good Monday morning to you. Rene here. I am filming this on Sunday morning, the day before, here at Vintage Faith Church in Santa Cruz. Now, why am I here today as a small part of the service? Well, I am part of a group that is praying over Sarah Bentley as she begins her role here as co-lead pastor. There's several other people from Twin Lakes Church here as well, celebrating this moment. We are here to recognize enthusiastically that though these are two different churches from different denominations, we're all part of the same family. We are in this together. We're going to disagree, both as individuals and as Christian denominations, on different aspects of Scripture, but that disagreement shouldn't tear us apart. You know, this is so important right now in this era where I feel like there are so many factions developing in our society. I mean, you kind of expect that politically. Of course, we've got all kinds of political factions. But what makes me sad as a pastor is I'm seeing this denominationally. I'm seeing this between Christians, where somebody's interpretation of what Scripture has to say about some subject, the end times, spiritual gifts, women in ministry, I could go on. That becomes a wall of separation. Those people become people I no longer fellowship with, and they may not even be Christians after all. That is totally against Scripture. Scripturally, we Christians are in this together. You know, I think of what Paul says in Romans chapter 14, one of my favorite chapters of the Bible. In Romans 12, he tells us to live in harmony with one another, and here he gets into details. In verse 4, who are you to condemn someone else's servant? To their own master they will stand or fall. He says in verse 10, why do you condemn another believer? Why do you look down on another believer? Remember, we will all stand before the judgment seat of God. And then in verse 13, so let's stop condemning each other. Decide instead to live in such a way that you will not cause another believer to fall. You know, next time somebody wants to say, you know, that person believes this, that person believes that, I don't think they're really a good Christian, kind of tries to set up walls of division between our church, us versus them. Ask them, who's their boss? Who's their master? Who's their Lord? Is it you? Then why are you judging them? To their master they will stand or fall. And our master tells us not to condemn one another. I hope you go in this age of division across those divides that might separate you from your Christian brothers and sisters. God bless you. Have a great week.